This interview is already in progress.
The 803 Fred, man. My partner 803 been doing this thing with the, where the fans at. Even that, unfortunately, it brought a lot of people together that wouldn't normally hang. You know what I mean? Wouldn't normally
Yes.
come out to certain events like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they like the whole theme of the boots and the cowgirl hat and the dress, the dance code, the whole nine. It kind of it brings them together. That's the power of soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's that power. So
Yes.
yeah, and
Yeah.
everybody get together and have a good time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why I speak with that.
Because
I think that's the best thing.
that's really all they could do with going through so much that our government was imposing on us, from going through so much from the racist people that was around us. That's all we could do is join together. And you brought up a good point about 803 Fresh, boots on the ground. I never really thought about it that way, but that song has brought in a whole generation of everyone doing the line dance together. My thing is, if we could all do, I mean, they have fields of line dancers, everybody doing the same dance. And, when I see this, I think if we could come together like that over a dance and be all on the same note and make all the right moves at the same time, why can't we
We
do
can come
that as a
together,
people?
Exactly. Exactly. So now you see the vision of my eyes. That's what I see. Now other people may see, they come together for this, but they can't do that. They come together for that, but they can't do this. That may be true, but I'm not here to point the finger. I'm looking at the logic, the real deal. Like, you know what? If we can get the people to come and do this here in a large magnitude,
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do. Yeah, I think we can pull something else off. We just got
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have a sense of direction.
Yes.
Uh, see with them steps, you got direction. You know to move left and move right and twist and turn and dip. You know what I mean? Them direction. See,
Mm-hmm.
if in order to have a large mass of people like that to move in unity, it had to be a sense of direction. There's no
Mm-hmm.
sense of direction when you listen to a lot of this other music, or even in people lives. There's no sense of directions. They just out of control. It's all over the place. That's why don't nobody care because there's no direction. You're not aiming for nothing. You don't have a complete mission for nothing. We don't. That's pretty much why the Bible have us working together, even as a couple, to work together on one accord. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in order to do that, yeah, you work on one accord, you can kind of agree and you're on the same track. But if you going left and I'm going right, it ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we at right now as a people. We divided as a people. But certainly incidents like that, it'll bring us together and we see it. And we need more of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are divided amongst each other for stupid reasons. There's no real solid reasons why we are all not together, except for
Well,
the stupidity. I don't see.
well, I'm gonna say this here because I must admit I am a biblical guy. Uh, that Bible speak on a lot of this that's going on today with the human behavior. So, like once again, I try not to point the finger. It tells us in that book to be in this world, but not of it. So that means it's gonna be a lot of stuff that goes on in this world, and some people gonna be used because we all are vessels, we all are temples. We just being used as a tool. We're gonna leave here. We all gotta leave here. Death is the only thing that's coming to us all. So we're gonna have to ride out. But while we here, the devil gonna use some, God gonna use some. It's just whose side you on. That's why it say choose you this day. You
Mhm.
understand? It's bigger than just politics. They just being used. They just pawns. We didn't know.
Mhm.
We didn't know that God was going to allow Donald Trump to do certain things that he's doing. But the
Mhm.
Bible said these things were going to take place. He could have used
Mhm.
Barack. He
Mhm.
could have got Miss Harris in there and let her do her thing and used her and
Mhm.
allow certain things to collapse and happen. You know what I'm saying, up under her watch. So I'm not focused on the person that he's allowed. That whatever. You know what I mean? To go. I'm looking at the movement that
Mhm.
their book said is going to take place step by step.
Hello. Hello. I think we lost a connection somewhere. There he
Yeah,
is.
yeah. You got to
Okay.
we need some talking to.
Okay. So, well, see, that's what happened when you get to start talking about good stuff. Things seem to happen like disconnects. You can't hear. So those are the type of things that happen. So I mean, your purpose is a completely different one from everyone else's. It's like everyone has, all the artists that I talk to have their own purpose, and your purpose seems to be music that speaks to your heart, music that you can relate with on an everyday basis, like Groove Train. Groove Train is one of them. When you work, where you say you work so hard, uphill. That's another one. And this one, Argue With You. Even Southern Guy, yes.
Even Southern, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talked about your struggles and how you grew up and what made you become the man that you are today. So I'm going to play Argue With You. I think I got it queued up.
I ain't about to argue with you. No.
Fuck a sad story, that's that shit we rewrite. I go for what? Most of these niggas is nuts. Anything spoken they trust. Respect her for what? She carry a step like a slut. Get everything through her butt. She just a nut. Told you these people is nuts. Killing each other for nuts. And I ain't on shit, man. I'm cool, man. I ain't fucking around with these sluts. While I fuck around with these bucks, everybody around me ran up. Got the babies all I trust. Granny told me, man up. Damn. How he died with his hands up. Officer, please, he can't breathe, but you don't even give a fuck. You don't kill him with his knees. So what I'ma argue for? When I know you don't know enough. So what I'ma argue for? When I know you don't give a fuck. Been praying on our knees. Now we about to burn this bitch up. Yeah. Now we about to burn this bitch up.
No. I ain't about to argue with you. No.
I know this big beer bit. If you ain't with it, then keep your distance. All these real niggas that's around. I need folks trying to help keep me up, not folks trying to keep me grounded. I'm gon' stay lifted, don't down, and keep it real with you 1,000. If we can't get it solved through talking, we can't get it done through arguing. You don't like me, that's your problem. But I bet I know how I'ma deal with you. But I guarantee I know one thing, you already know that I won't argue with you. I feel like Picasso, I can paint a picture. But you the type to worry about the brush. I'm the type to try to get it in, and you the type to try to do too much. I'm like Kobe Bryant when I'm in the clutch, and you ain't even off up in the game. So don't come talking to me way too much, man. Some folks shouldn't even say my name.
I ain't about to argue with you. No. I ain't about to argue with you. No. I ain't about to argue with you. No. I ain't about to argue with you. No.
Let's see. Hey. Welcome back to the show. That was Eddie Key's song, Argue With You. And he just gave us a little bit of explanation as to what that song is all about. I'm trying to get another one up in here. His song Money. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm listening to myself at the same time. So let's talk about the song "Money" that I'm looking for
I got
to play now. Now, I have a little problem with that song, Money.
That's what's the problem with that record.
Because you said I don't be playing around with you skeezers. Who's skeezers? Uh-huh.
It's not you. In the streets, that's something else.
That's what? You said I don't... You said I don't be playing around with you skeezers? Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a clean way of without causing, being disrespectful. They know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, it's different types of women. It's different types of women out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All women ain't ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you hear me? I said, but all women ain't ladies.
I heard you. All women are not ladies. I agree with that. Yeah.
So every woman can be classified as a lady. Some of them ski.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of them skeezers now.
Mm-hmm. So what made you decide to do a song like that? You sound like a pimp. You sound like a pimp trying to get the money, All I really want is my money. So I think we got it queued up. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get it to play.
Well, I got my I got Memphis on tape.
Uh-huh.
We on that record with me. Shout out to 901, man. Shout out to Memphis, man. Shout out to West Memphis, Best Memphis, man. You understand? Yeah, I got one of my top guys, man. One of my good homeboys on that record right there with me. Taylor Weed.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a legendary guy. Yeah, he one of the legends, one OG legends. They really don't get props as he should for the rap game. Yeah, down there in Memphis, he's on that record with me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good record. I like it.
Okay, so let's see if we can get it played. This one is called Money from Eddie Key. Right, we're back. That was Eddie Key in What's the Crash Dummy, Eddie?
What you see on the news?
What I see on the news?
This the reason why I come. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna share this with y'all. I'm gonna share it with you again for those who don't know. Yeah, I've been on my own since I was 10, man. I went to prison when I was like 14, so I was a troubled kid. I was out of control.
You was a bad boy.
I was in my 20s. Yeah, I was just like what you see on TV today. It ain't a lot of these kids. They're not bad. They're hurt. They're not taught. Name how many people do you know that's in your community that actually get out and deal with the youth? You can't name not a one. But you can name everybody in your community who dislike your community, who got a problem with it. They got a problem with the youth. But anybody gonna do nothing. It's no different than Trump running around here killing us and whooping up with the police officers. We ain't gonna do nothing. We just sitting back talking. But ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Everybody scared just talking. Man, we do our kids the same way. Me being an advocate for that and actually come up with that, in that type of environment as a kid, I got a problem with that. I can't just sit back and just watch them just fall off the cliff like this. Somebody got to say something.
Okay, but you do realize some people, help starts from within. If you're not looking for the help or you don't want the help or advice, then what good is it? You're talking to the air. You're just beating the wind.
I was the exact same way. You couldn't tell me nothing.
That's right.
They used to ask me, what if I did I care if I lived or died? And I didn't care. At that time, I honestly did not care. So, with that being said, man, I'm speaking from experience. I knew exactly how they feel. That hurt they come from, that fear that they give you. It's no different than you going to church. You don't want to go talk to somebody who cannot relate, that you can't relate to. Just because you come teaching me, trying to tell me, hey, do right, God love you, it's a better way, that don't necessarily mean that it's registering to me. You got to be able to talk to me in my language. Talk to me on my, you got to talk to me on my level. That's why when you go to, when schools, when you go to the schoolhouse, the teachers, when they go talk to the little kid, the adolescent, the toddler, they squat down. And they look eyeball to eyeball. They get on their level. Sometimes IQ mentally. We have to get on these other kids. We got to get on these kids' level and talk in their language and relate the message to them in their language the way they can understand. With love at the same time, with conviction and love. Those are skills that the average older person do not have because they're doing their struggles of getting out of the neighborhoods or getting out the hood or getting out the streets. They leave a lot of ways behind. They shy away from a lot of, activities, talks, and certain things of that nature. So when it comes down to dealing with the youth and other folks who still in that realm, they no longer can relate. So when you get to talking certain little talk, man, it's going over their head. Man, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. You got to come talk to them the same way. It's cool. It's how, see, me, myself, I sit down and smoke one with one of them. And chop it up with them. Hey, man, even though we going up and we doing our thing, man, this ain't what it is. This ain't cool. Say, man, there's something else we can do. It got to be, man, look here. And I'm going to throw some ideas out there. I'm going to help any kind of way I can. I'm going to be involved. That's the difference. I'm not just going to sit back from afar and just say some things and just walk off. No, these children need help. They need help. They literally need help. Now, all the older people, the same ones who act like they have an issue with helping, they the same ones who would admit that these folks took the fathers out the home, they played with the food, they playing with the education, they acknowledge that they dumbing down our kids. So why not allow and push and support somebody who you know what I mean, is actually trying to help. They want to do something. We need some more woodshop class. We need some homemade class. These kids need to know how, you know what I mean? Simple stuff. We don't have none of that in our community.
Okay. Well, I remember in elementary school, I did take the home ec class, and I really loved the way it smelled inside that room. It always smelled like chocolate chip cookies was cooking or something like that. I mean, I enjoy cooking myself, but I don't enjoy it every day. But you have to also realize, Mr. Key, that times have changed. Everything is not the same. Women are not putting on aprons in the kitchen, cooking big dinners, waiting for the husband to come home. I mean, yeah, I put on an apron and I cook a dinner, but I don't do it every day. I can't do it every day, even if I wanted to, because our lives has become more congested. More things happening.
And that's understandable. And that's fine. You don't cook every day, but my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Here it is. We got all these men growing up confused. He want to be sexy. He got hair dangling over his head. His girlfriend got hair dangling over her head. He got on flip flops. She got on flip flops. But she talking about she want a king. She want to get married. She want kids. But her choice of men is something else. And vice versa. The man want a queen and want a woman that's gonna cook and clean and hold it down and help raise kids. But here it is. He got a choice of something else. So here it is. My people just perishing because everybody just want to do what they want to do. Everybody just running off their feelings and do what they want to do instead of doing what they supposed to do. What God designed us to do. He made a man for a woman and a woman for a man. Instead of everybody doing what they designed to do, I'm just saying now, take the bitter with the sweet, however it comes. Everybody want to do what they want to do. That's why the world have changed. But the Bible says so. Like I said, I'm a biblical cat now. So I'm going to take it right back to it every time. Because that's what's going on. It ain't no way around it. You know what I mean? But that's what's really going on.
Well, yeah. I say a prayer each day before I start my show. And I pray for the micro businesses and people that are out here in the struggle and trying to make it. But to say that it's not meant to be the way it is, the dynamics of the family has changed. When men decided that they did not want to work or hold down a job, somebody has to pay the rent. Someone has to feed the kids. That's the family dynamics today.
Let's talk about that for a second. Now. All right. It's the same thing as these food stamps, right? They just stopped these food stamps. That's the same thing they're saying about the women. And we all know that's a lie. Now, there are a lot of lazy women that actually live off of food stamp and the government. They will sit back and do that. Yes, there are. There are a nice percentage of them that do that. Mm-hmm. All types of colors, races, all that. And it's the same way on the other side with men. There's a lot of lazy folks, a lot of lazy men that don't want to work the whole night. Ooh, but the truth be told, ma'am, this game always has been rigged. Like I said, I've been on my own for quite some time, right? So I've been fitting out applications. I've been truck driving since 1998. So I've been bouncing around from different companies all over the globe, right? So I know how hard it is to find work and employment, whether you got a felony or whether you don't. I know how hard it is to keep that. Most cities and states are ran by lawmakers and politicians. So whatever they put on the news or whatever numbers, the stats that they put in front of you, the common folks, citizens that work, and you just gonna believe that. But you're not outside. You're not going to the dangerous neighborhood to actually watch and see if they robbing and shooting and killing. You know what I mean? But those who from that and live there, we're gonna disagree with a lot of this stuff that's being said because it's not happening for real in real life. But in order for them to get your vote, for you to approve their vote in the whole nine, they gotta get you on their side. Here we go again, coming together like the 803 Fresh situation. They get you to come together with that, you know what I mean, with the crime and the violence and all that. But it ain't even like that. It ain't going on like that. Oh, they don't want to work. They dangerous. They don't want to. So they take the food down. It ain't even like that. The black men, they don't want to work. They lazy. You lying to me. No, you lying to me. All of us ain't like that. But they paint their picture and they paint their narrative so it can push whatever they trying to push, whatever narrative, whatever direction they want us to go. Because we all like cattle. You clearly can see. So whatever narrative they wanted to do, they do it. The same thing they did with Dr. Martin Luther King was around with the dogs and the water holes and the whole nine. They use that's the law. Mississippi, law. You know what I mean? Go look at any massacre they're having them on that law. So they've been using this law thing, all these stats and numbers, all our lives. So some of it is true, but 98% of it full of it. I can't even take that back. Yeah, because 98% of they full of it. It's some hard-working folks out here, man. They actually be out here looking for opportunities, and they will give it all that they got. But they get a opportunity to certain people, certain group of people. They require certain things for certain type of jobs that pay certain type of wages that a lot of people don't have. You know what I mean? It always be a trick to it somewhere.
Well, there's
I don't like them. I don't like them dragging our names, men. Like, cause I'm a black man, and I don't shy of no work. And I ain't never shy of no work. I ain't never been lazy. Even though I went to prison, the whole nine. You'll think that I'm some knucklehead that's out here just kicking up dust and don't want to work, don't want to do nothing, just be trouble. No, I beg to differ, and I don't like that. And they do a lot of my people like that, and I don't like it. See, that's why I come. No, we got to purify this.
But
we're gonna separate those.
You have to realize that there are a lot of women that are raising boys to be men. And one thing I know about a woman, as a woman, I can't teach a little boy to be a man. But when the father is absent and there's no other male figure around, if the girl's father is not around, or she has entered a relationship with another man who is a respectable man and wants to work and take on the kids, then there's no one around to teach the male. So when the man, when the little boy is walking around, when he's 3 years old, for example, 2-3 years old, and he's in the living room and he sees his mother's slippers, and he puts them on and he walks around in them, and he likes his mama's slippers. So every year, so mama decides, well, I'm going to just go ahead and buy him a pair so he can stop wearing mine. You know, there's just certain things that a woman can't teach a man, and I don't think it's fair.
That's why they drive us out, and they know that, man. And that's why they drive us out, the black men, out of the home the way they do, and that's why they push this homosexual acts and stuff the way they do. They know that it's all a setup. Now you're telling me what everybody in the world already know. Hey, a lady can't raise no man. We already know that. But they got certain little things that's set up in this world. They got certain techniques and mechanisms that they use, that they've been using for centuries to drive us out. They use, I'm talking about from the food to the medication.
So you're saying the government drove the man out? You're saying the government drove the man out?
Of course. Even back when they created the act, when you first started getting the food stamp and the government assistance, if the man was in the house, if they came in and inspected that house, that man had to get out of there.
Why should he? But why should he stay if the government is taking care of his family? You're just in there
Well,
producing more kids, adding more kids to the
because
system.
because at the time, this is why reading is so fundamental. At the time, the economy, the jobs that they were providing for us, it's just like, I don't know if you know anything about Memphis, Tennessee,
No.
but if you go to Memphis, Tennessee, man, the jobs that they have down there, they have warehouse jobs. That's all they have. You're going to go work at Nike, Foot Locker or somewhere, or not Foot Locker, you're going to go to Nike, Technicolor, some of that nature. You're gonna do some type of warehouse job. Mm-hmm. You're gonna do a warehouse job, law enforcement, or medical field. Outside of that, ma'am, you do. Okay? So now you got a large population of people that's everybody trying to work in the warehouse. You got the Mexicans down there, you got the black folk down there, you got the Caucasians down there, everybody trying to work in the warehouse. They ain't got them in position. Not only that, they ain't paying them much. They only paying minimum wage. Not only that, you only get partial hours. You're not even getting the full 40 hours because they got so many people they got to rotate. You may get 30 hours, 36 hours. So they in the household with this woman now with these bills steady kicking. She doing what she can, he doing, but these bills steady kicking. You understand me? It's bigger than what you think. It's bigger than how y'all try to make it play out like somebody just sitting back, sitting on their thumb and sitting on their hand, and just the government just passing everything. That's the narrative that they want you to believe so they can do what they're doing. That's the narrative. It's no different than this COVID-19 thing. If they can lock you down if they tell you COVID-19 back, they can shut it back down. They locked us up for 2 years. But they told us the same thing they locked us up from can be killed by hand sanitizer. And y'all want me to believe that it's dangerous like that? You want to lock me down for 2 years for something that can be killed by hand sanitizer? Man, that ain't nothing but a narrative being pushed all day long, and they've been using the same thing. They've been using the same technique, the same tactic.
I'm not saying that COVID was 100% real, and I know that, it says to wash their hands, but you have a lot of dirty people out here. The reason why COVID got the way it did is because of people not covering their mouth when they sneeze. It's because of people not washing their hands. People are dirty. Okay.
When they got a cold, they don't cover their mouth.
That's right. That's right. But see, all of this goes back to teaching. This goes back to teaching in the household. The woman has to teach the baby to say, excuse me, teach the baby to cover their mouth when they sneeze. At a certain age, you can't teach a baby certain things until they get a certain age. All of this goes back to that. And if the people did not grow up that way, because sometimes a 2-parent household are 2 filthy people, and they're still not teaching that child what the child needs because they were never taught to it. What you touch on is a bigger subject. It's something bigger than you, and it's bigger than me. To change.
That's what I'm talking about.
Change.
That's what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm on. God gave me the power. See, y'all talk this. A lot of people talk their power, their God power. God said I can do all things. He ain't say some of it, all. And I come to talk. I need to come talk to some of my little young brothers, some of my little young sisters. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what not to do, because I know it ain't work for me, it ain't going to work for you. Yeah, I got a free lesson to teach. Yeah, I was a crash dummy king.
Enlighten us what the crash dummy is again, Mr. Key.
Oh, no, I ain't going to be speculating. If you catch a cold, they got medication for you in your cold, correct?
Yes.
All right, but this same thing that you talking about with this COVID, you catch that, they can't give you nothing for that. They're going to tell you to go home and lay down. But at the same time, they want you to believe that it's so dangerous. Now, what you're saying is true. It may be real. Whatever name and classified they want to give it. They can give it whatever name. It can be a common cold, but it can be just slightly a little bit more severe. They can say COVID. But whatever name they want to use, they don't give you no medication for it. They just send you home. They're going to stick this thing up your nose and send you on about your business. But you can catch a common cold and go to the doctor and say, hey, my throat hurt, I got a cold. Yeah, you do. They're going to give you something for that. So I'm just trying to figure out what's more dangerous. So at that point, that lets me know, oh, man, I'm like Charlton White on that. Oh, man, they playing on us. Yeah, they playing on us at that point because they come out of tripping. And you want me to believe that it's dangerous? No, man. But somebody got to be teaching. Somebody got to be teaching. Somebody need to be taught. It's a lot of stuff, man. Like you say, it's bigger than the natural eye. It's bigger than It turned to something else. It turned to something else. But our kids, people need to be taught.
That's true. They need to be taught, but if there's no one around to teach them, then they won't learn. Or if they don't want to learn, like you said, when you were younger, you didn't want to hear anything. When I was younger, I didn't want to hear anything. And people are set in their ways and they don't want to listen. So all the talking in the world, unless it's like an alcoholic, it's like an alcoholic. If the alcoholic can't get any better until they admit that they're an alcoholic. They have to realize within themselves that there's a problem. Once you realize within yourself that there's a problem, then we could start working on fixing it.
True. Yeah.
And until then,
But that ain't my job. That's something they got to deal with between God. All my job is just to get a message.
okay.
That's all. It's no different than you. You do your radio. Your job is just to make sure the people get the message.
Mm-hmm.
It's our job as an artist to go record the record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's our job to make sure we know what we're doing. It's our job. Yeah, so that's all I can do. I can just do my job.
Yeah.
And I feel my job is due to my upbringing. God had brought me too far. He brought me too far for me to just all these good blessings and knowledge that he done blessed me with, and he done, endured me through to not help somebody. And I'm sitting here watching these little kids fall to the wayside by the drove.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They just, everybody speaking like that. Well, they don't care. They don't go there. Well, they ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to. So that means they ain't going to say nothing? Shit, they don't care, so you ain't going to say nothing. Anybody going to even try? No. So that's why that's why I'm disputing. Yeah, I'm disputing that to the end.
So you need to be.
Yeah, I ain't gonna give up.
You need to go. You need to go on the road.
Hold on, Miss Lena. Hold on, Miss Lena. Let me do this right quick, Miss Lena. Say, little homie, if you out there in the radio land right now, man, you listening to this here, man, I ain't giving up on you, Pimp Juice. Man, holler at me, man. I'm Eddie Key. You understand me? Man, you can hit me up in my inbox on Facebook. You can hit me up on TikTok. You can hit me up on Instagram. Man, you need to talk about something, man. You're going through some dog pound. Man, hit me up, man. Straight like that, man. You don't owe me a dime, man. Just hit me up and get at me, man. Eddie Key, man. Let the keys in your pocket. K-E-Y. Holler at me, dog.
Okay. Well, I hope they got that message. But you need to take your speaker. You need to speak for one thing. What I see is you need to speak, and you need to take that abroad. You need for people to hear you. That's the only way your message is going to resonate. I mean, and then you need to have some type of camp or counseling that these young people can go to for that. I mean, that's the only way that's going to help them. Either they go to counseling, or you are connected, or you can refer them to some counseling. But what you're speaking about is not going to be heard or understood until you take it to the road, until you speak, Mr. Eddie Key. This is what you want to change.
Well,
we all have to change things.
I know. Yeah,
I mean, you at one point you had a podcast that was speaking about all this stuff. Why don't you could start out with picking up your podcast to spread this message, and then as your podcasts get popular, you'll be asked to speak at different places because they will have heard you. So that's the biggest thing that I can suggest, because you're very passionate about this. This is not something that you just spoke on. You've been speaking on this since I've known you, and that's been about 3 years. You have spoke on this subject about what you want to do. So it's obvious that you're very passionate about this. You just have to put that passion in the right places to be heard. To make change.
Like I said at the beginning of the interview, you asked me where have I been. I've been quiet and the whole nine. Whoop, there it is. That's your answer. Where I've been, that's what I've been doing. I've been studying to show myself approved. I've been rebuilding myself. I've been on some other stuff. Like I said, I've been on a spiritual journey. I'm on something else right now because I'm looking at the changes that's going on in the world. So we dead here. You got it.
So I do look forward to more lesson teaching music. I don't even know if that's the classification. It's soul music. It's Southern soul. But the train is coming with a message. You know, the train is coming with the message. The message is for everyone to let's change what we see today. Not necessarily let's go backwards, but let's find a way to make this work with today's society, because that is the key. Finding a way to make it work with today's society. Young people see too much on the internet that they want to be like. They want to be like the man who got all the money around them. You know, the women want to be like the Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj's. You know, they're getting surgeries at young ages when their body is not even finished developing. They're getting surgeries and stuff put in, injected and stuff in us. In order to change this, they have to see something more, which is one of the things that I try to do with my Facebook page. If I see people that want to follow me and stuff, and I go ahead and friend and let them be friends, and I go into my my Facebook page and I see someone shaking their ass and it's big and fake and stuff, I won't put that on my. I will unfollow them and block them, because that's not the message that I want to put out. You know, so we have to find different means of doing things that influences these young people, and we as the older generation have to try and do it. I mean, when you got, you know, guys that put out things like, let's see who's got the best shape or the best breath, and then you got all of these women that'll put out their pictures. But if you put out a message that says, hey, we're looking for people to counsel young women into, you know, not being this way, how many people are you going to get? How many women are you going to get?
For sure.
You may get one or two. You may not even get that wants to step up to the plate and do something like that. But if you say who's the best looking, who got the biggest butt or something like that, you got all types of women. You got all types of women that's going to answer that with their picture.
Oh, yeah.
And these are older women. So you think that these are older women that, as we're supposed to set the example, I'm not saying put on the apron and go back in the kitchen and cook and clean and all. I'm not saying go back to the 60s. But there has to be some type of balance to let our children know that, hey, this is the way you're supposed to be when you are labeled as wife, or, you know,